Welcome back to the MotorFab YouTube channel. On today's episode, you're going to see all of this done back from the start till we get to this point. We're ready to fire the girl up. Big girl up, I should say. Hit it. We'll wind all that back and show you what we did today to get it to that point. Enjoy the show. Don't forget, like and subscribe. Rightio, back up under the Monaro. Please excuse the whippersnipping out there, someone's doing their gardens. So there's our pipes, they're all in. This side was okay, all good. This side, some of the longer runners that wrap around stuff, as you can see, I've had to put V-bands on because you can't get in and out of the car in one hit. It's just that one, so that one and that one there, sorry. And they all fit clear. I've got a couple of clearance issues. We're touching on the back of the starter there. That's one I got to fix. Touching on the back of the block there, I got to clearance that a little bit. I'll be clearance with a hammer. Here, I've clearance that one with a hammer, but got it in the wrong spot. And that's pretty much it. Everywhere else just seems to clear pretty good. More room would always be better. So what we're going to do now, the sump's all done too. Finally, made up a little drain bug, put the bung in there. Also welded up the dipstick. Can't really see now. I don't run dipstick on bump in. Don't check the oil. It's just a area for, especially a turbo car, for oil to come out. Sometimes I blow the dipstick out. If you do ever have a problem internally in the engine, it will just blow the dipstick out regardless of what you're trying to hold it in with, and then can go all over the track and the tyres. So just one less place to let the oil get out. And with anything that's got decent power, you run new oil in it every time you race it anyway, so you always know how much oil's in it. It's not like you're doing 100,000 Ks and you check the oil all the time. So yeah, so there's no dipstick in the old girl now. We'll just fill it with the right amount of oil. We got everything's looking good under there. So yeah, so the plan now is I'm going to pull, excuse that bad filming, I'm going to pull the pipes back out, mark where they need to be clearanced, pull the pipes back out, clearance them, weld up we also got the V-bands on the back there for the exhaust, when we make the exhaust. Weld up those V-bands, weld up those V-bands up in there, and put some black heat paint on them. And then there's a bit of a process to get back in. The gearbox won't fit between the pipes now, and the pipes are pretty much hard up against the side of the little rails for the gearbox cross member. So yeah, so the pipes have got to come off, and then this side's got to go in. Then the starter motor, which you can get in and out of the pipes on, but you can't get the pipes on with the starter motor on. So pipes on this side, starter motor on this side, gearbox in, then pipes on this side. And obviously the pipes will go in one at a time. So it's a little bit of a process to get it all in there, but we'll get used to it. Sort of like every car, you start to get your head around it. So yeah, let's do it, hook in, get started. So from the top side, we've just got that one there, it's not touching, it is close, too close, and then that one at the back there. So I hate dinting pipes. I try to always make my pipes so I don't have to do it, but in this circumstance I was a little bit tricky. Clearly everything was really tight, as you guys know, because of that bloody steering rack, lack of steering rack. So we're going to put that there. What I'm going to do now is stamp the numbers. Obviously once we paint them we won't see the number, so I'll stamp the number of each runner on the top there, because you might remember now where they go, because I made them and I know what they look like. But down the track, pull the motor out and sits out for a couple of months, goes to go back in, and you can't remember what pipe goes where. So just going to stamp each one. Well, we've always got reference. Tricky. Might have a little left-handed hammer swing here. This might be interesting. See if I don't bang a finger. Not enough Wheaties. That's better. There you go, you get the idea. I'll do the other side, start pulling them out. Right, so I just welded these flanges onto here because it's stainless to steel. We're using Series 2 wire, which welds it good, no cracks. Now, I've been a bit naughty here. I didn't clean the coating off these collectors because they were in the car and I wanted to tack the flanges on. There's no issue with the weld, so to speak. It's just because the shit gets in the pool of the weld while you're welding. It shakes around because it's contaminated, so it swirls. You don't get a smooth flow. As you're trying to move the pool around, it won't move smoothly because then the metal's not clean. This shit gets into it and it swirls around. So as long as you make sure it all comes out, the weld will be strong and functional. You just won't get that nice. Normally with these welds, when you're welding these flanges on, you can normally get really, really nice beads all the way around. If I had cleaned it off, obviously that would have been the case, but we're in a hurry and it doesn't really matter. And it's compared to the welds that come on these collectors, it looks a lot better, I reckon. So there you go. That's why I didn't clean my steel, even though I'm always preaching that clean steel makes good welds. Yeah, we're in a hurry today, so we just weld around, and I think the job is fit for purpose. So that's everything welded. Going to paint everything now, and yeah, get these headers back in the car, get the rest of it together. So just about to start putting the pipes back on. Got my goop on there. Gonna cop a bit of criticism here because I don't use a gasket. I do if it's like a LS and it's got a nice multi-layer stainless gasket. But yeah, if there's not a nice alternative, not a nice option like that, I would just run, so long as all your flanges fit up nice to your heads, just run Copper Max or Ultra Copper. straight onto the plate, straight onto the head. If you want proof that it works just fine, over here it's a turbo setup and it's quite restricted, so it makes a lot of exhaust. You won't be able to see down there, maybe in there. There you go. Makes a lot of exhaust manifold back pressure up to 80 psi sometimes, and there's no gasket. It's just the flange plates straight on with a bit of copper silicon underneath there. So if it can hold that, it can definitely hold what we're going to throw at it over here. So yeah, no gasket, just goop and nice flat flanges. Let's do it. Right, so that's the difficult side and the top side all done. The worst is this bolt here. It's pretty tricky to get in, but we got it. This one here is a bit tricky, but you got to go from underneath. Not so bad. Obviously, we've got the less than desirable reliefs, which are going to restrict flow a little bit, but I don't think it's really going to matter for this setup. So now we're going to put the car up and put the starter in, put the other two runners that are V-banded, put the collector on, and then put the gearbox in, and then we're going to go across to the other side. I think that's, this is the first time it's all gone back together, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be the process that works the best for this little arrangement. Let's do it. So I got all the 4 pipes are on the top, those two there, these two just V-band here, and where is it? Here, nice and easy. I've got the starter motor in, just easy to get it in now. You can actually get the starter motor in and out with the pipes on, so that's really good, particularly when I'm using a second-hand unknown starter motor. So hopefully we don't have any problems, but if we do, we can change it without taking the pipes off, which is handy. Managed to, where are we? I don't know if you can see up in there. Let me zoom, focus. It's a bit hard to see, maybe from there. You can actually kind of see there. We've got clearance. I've got a good, I'm going to go, it's hard to see with the camera there, but 4 or 5 mil. We just put a little dent in the corner of the pipe there, so yeah, that's the starter doesn't touch the pipes anymore, which was one thing I was worried about. And as I put little dents here and there so that the pipes miss everything, everything's got a lot easier to fit. It's not binding on each other. You can see there, got good clearance on everything, so not great clearance, but it's enough. And yeah, so now I might put the box in before these 2 pipes, just so I got a bit more room, because they go in easy at the end. So I'll pop the box up there and then tackle these other 2 pipes, and then once the box is in, pipes are on, I'll start on the other side, get it all in. There's the sexy gearbox in there. It's a beautiful Turbo 400 built by a good friend of mine, Alex. Like I've said earlier, give us a buzz if you send me a message if you want to get hold of Alex and get him build your box. I've got my filter, so we'll put that in due time once I feed the runners through for the pipes. So look at that, it's starting to look really good. All nice and fresh in there. Everything's going in really, really smooth, nice and easy, as you'd expect it would, because it's all been in the mock-up stage. But yeah, no, it's all fitting really good. I'm really happy with it. So for some reason I'm really tight on this edge here, so I have to trim that back. So there's a little bit of clearance once the collector goes over, that's going to touch. So I'll figure out what's going on there and fix that up. And yeah, box is looking good. Everything's fitting in nice and square. True, easy. Starter's in. I didn't film putting the box in because I can't see up under here, and it's a bit hard to film while I'm wrestling with the gearbox on my own. But yeah, it's going together really, really well. I'm really happy. So let's get the rest of these pipes in, and yeah, start tackling, I guess, the manifold and stuff. Who knows from there? Let's do it. Here we go. Motor's in, gearbox is in, and all the pipes are in. Thank goodness for that. The easy side was tricky to get in, but there you go. It's all nice and neat. You see a cross member that we knocked up. Gives heaps of room for the pipes. Keeps everything flat throughout the car. It's actually a really nice little setup. I like it. Nice and neat. Tighten a few spots, obviously, but we're all happy. Our converter's in, our weird Facebook Marketplace converter. It's an odd one, but it was actually really hard to get it to seat on grab the pump. I spilled a bit of fluid doing it. but it's in there now. And going to bring it down, fit off the inlet manifold and carby distributor, and keep moving closer to being able to start this thing up. I'm going to show you guys. I don't know if you're going to be able to see up there, hopefully. There we go, look at that. That is perfect. Right from the very start of this build, everyone said to me, never going to get that back spark plug. You're never going to get that back spark plug. That's the plug. All other 7 spark plugs all come out really easy with just a basic socket. Anything you want to use, you can get at them from the top. Piece of cake, easiest car I've ever owned to change plugs. But this one in behind the steering box, yes, it is difficult. But I have made a special tool which goes, look at that, and ratchets back. How good is that? Done. The one piece of the puzzle that we weren't sure how it was going to come together, and it is done. So all the plugs are accessible. Pipes actually don't hit anywhere. Everything's going good. You just got to have this special tool at all times with the car. But this is actually going to make changing plugs easier on the other cars too. So good. It all worked out in the long run. So plugs are in. It's got the ladder here. Manifold's bolted down, dizzy's in. Pipes are all done. So now it's got to wire up the starter motor, put the plug leads on, wire up the dizzy, and put carburetor on there. Work out how we're going to get some fuel into it. We might be able to kick it over. Well, it's definitely dark outside now. Been going at it all day. Young Gibbo's come down and give me a hand. He's just ducked off now to get some fuel. We're getting close. We just got some dummy wiring for the starter and a dizzy and a coil, so we can actually, it turns over. We just bumped it on the starter, so it starter works. So everything's in, plugs are in, leads are on. Put some fuel in it, put some top up the oil, and yeah, we're just going to we haven't got fuel lines run yet, or fuel pumps wired up, so we're just going to fuel up the bowls. I'm going to run it to, there's no cooler lines on the transmission yet, so I can't really run it and there's no water in it either. So just give it 5 seconds or so. If it fires up, let's just try to make a noise. Get this thing knocked on the head. It'll be very exciting to hear it fire up, that's for sure. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes to plan and it does what it should. Righto, we got a bit of fuel in there. We got some skank ass wiring going on. Gibbo's got buttons and switches and shit going on. We're gonna try to knock this, turn this big girl over. Righto, Gibbo, go for it. Whee! I think we've just got fuel in the bowl. I think we might have ran out of fuel, so she's got a bit of a lean pop. We'll see. But she runs. What do you reckon, Gibbo?
Good stuff. Good fucking stuff.
Oh no, we've still got fuel. Give her another hit, mate. Now we're running out. Now we've got no fuel left. There we go. We'll just pop a little bit more fuel and get it to run for a couple of seconds. But look at that. How about that, eh? The big girl starts up. This week it's on. Gonna get the tail shaft made up. Gonna get brake lines in and the fuel lines and wiring. That might all happen this week, but I'm gonna hook into it. Get this thing ready to drive as fast as I can. I'm stoked that it's running. Really pumped. Thanks for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. A lot of people I know are waiting to hear it start up. So don't forget, the merchandise was sold out, but I've got stock happening again now. So get on the website, make an order. We don't, in regards to merchandise, we get asked the question. It's not a business to us. We don't make a lot of money, but it does help me put parts in a Monaro and does help me to, make that happen, to keep bringing you guys episodes. So yeah, I really appreciate all the merchandise orders we do get, and yeah, like I said, it helps me put that car together and bring in these episodes. So if you don't mind, please do jump on, grab a shirt, grab a jumper, grab a hat. I haven't sold many hats lately. So yeah, enjoy. Next week we'll have more exciting advancements on the Monaro. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next week.
Follow white rabbit.